Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus one more time. You know, I feel as if I'm one of the most envied or hated individuals on the face of the earth. You might ask, how can I say that when you don't even know me? And if you don't, probably millions and millions don't even know me, especially the people on my block. So why would I say I'm such a hated man? I'd say that because I bring to you a message that is absolutely a result of your prayers. It is a result of how you were designed, and I bring it to you. And you have been so darkened, you have been so blind that you can't see any of it. And yet, because I work for my Creator, I'm back and back again doing what I've been given to do. And I'm back and back again because that power that I speak to you about really, really do love you. You see, one of the reasons why I'm so hated, ladies and gentlemen, is because I tell it like it is. I want everybody to know that every government on the face of the earth is man's government. You know, we've called it the devil's government and all that kind of stuff, but truly, it's man's government. The devil, undoubtedly, if exists, is influencing. And I say that because if it were the other way around, and people were doing those kinds of things that would allow for the heaven kind of situation to be the outcome, it would be you, the people, you would have created heaven. And I'm sure you would have done it with the influence of the Spirit. But this is what's key. This is what is key. How do we choose to live? Do we choose to live being a slave and downtrodden and hated and hateful, and or just live a wonderful life? Now, there is a role that each of us has to play in doing that. I want to share a little message with you that I put together, ladies and gentlemen. And it says, America completely turns its back on righteousness. America completely turns its back on righteousness. You see, America has always been an unrighteous nation, and it's been putting up mirrors to hide who they really are. A nation built on the assumption that the only rights that anyone have or are available to the people are those that white men with money determines. The law, where we talk about the law, well, it has always been the backup. It's the backup plan to the white man's rule. Now, you might say, I'm being prejudiced in that statement, but it's not. They tell you that. They came in this country with the money. We got the money. We're going to do this and do that. And we need help. We're going to get that and get that. And we're going to do whatever we have to do. What the man said, these are our streets. That means they took them. You heard how they took the land. You heard how they made people slaves and still haven't gotten out of the way of freedom. Ever so often they have to go and recertify, get a right to vote. People of color, white folks don't have to do that. But the less than humans have to go and re-register to vote. And when the ones that don't like it, would feel with all that other hate, just decide they're fed up with you and what you get, and so they're just going to take away those rights to vote. Okay, I mean, how much you gave, how much you fought, how many of you died for that right. It doesn't mean a thing when it's in the hands of other people. Well, that's the way it is. Duchess, you want to get out? Excuse me 1 minute. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Duchess has been standing around taking care of dude. So I have to look out for Duchess as a Duchess look out for me. You know, let me tell you something. 2 times the people accused, they investigated, and they found that the ex-president of the United States, number 45, Donald J. Trump, a cancer to the office. And twice, the white power structure representing what I just told you, hiding under the banner of legal. Legal. They sent this bank president in a parallel, found guilty of embezzlement. They sent him back to his office to continue the scheme in play. Now, we're going to find out what the scheme is in play because it reveals itself. Try to keep you from seeing it, but I see it and I'm telling you about it. Now, what is happening in the country today is a part of the original plan from which Trump announced his candidacy. Now, at that time, yes, at that time, the plan was in action. At that time, the plan was in action. No known criminal has ever received such support for corruption as has the money people of this country supported his resume. It revealed that he was a crook. Everybody said, they talked about on television everywhere. He was a thief, they say. He was a liar, they say. He was a hater, they say. He was a racist and a bigot, they say. And he was a God denier, they say. Exactly the will of the white power of this nation. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. The Congress, man, that's something. I just let her out. Now she's ready to come back in. Messing up the program. But I got to do it, let you know what compassion is like. You important, but I got to let her in now. Come on. Now, just indicating the power that this one has, and is that the Congress, Republicans, the Senate, and the House, the Supreme Court, the Justice Department, the Democratic Party power structure, the church, and a misled public. That means all of us. Well, now I'm talking about all of you. All are a reflection of an absence of a God with any power to resist evil. See, it doesn't matter where you find yourself in this life. You can be a big shot or no shot. You still caught in the bowl. Yes, you might be super rich, or you might be eating out of the trough with hogs. Still, in this bubble, my friend, the continuation of this sideshow is part of a plan set in motion from the very, very beginning. At no time is this evil to be stopped. The nations attacking the right to vote is part of a plan. And what is it for? To establish obvious evil in America. I know this sounds cold, what I've just said about people, all of us. You know you don't want to hear that. I'm saying it, who do I think I am that I can sit here and make that kind of judgment on you when you say I don't know anything about you? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what gives me the ability to do that, because I'm not looking at you. I might have called your name because of the position that you're in, or I might call out the position so that people would know that it includes all of us. We're doing our thing, but where there isn't the best, then we, the creatures that were created to be the best, are not the best. So the mission is to be the best for what we were created to be. And if we being the best for what we were created to be, we will have our heaven. And we, my friends, will be walking around the gods that created heaven by the power of that God that made us. You know what I'm talking about? Well, sometimes they kind of get you kind of mixed up. The establishment is banking that there are no more Dr. Martin Luther Kings, that there are no more Malcolm X in this country, and evil will run rampant. Now, what am I saying about Dr. King and Malcolm X? They were meat and bone blood people just like you and I, all of us. But they had arrived. Their eyes had been opened, and they could see the truth. And they walked according to it. That doesn't mean that they were perfect, because you can't be perfect when you don't even know what perfection is. You just walk. And where you lead, where you're led, that's where you go. No, by no means did they want you to think that they were perfect, but they wanted you to know the truth, especially that truth that caused you pain and suffering. When they understood that they were walking around representing a power that we all say we know something about, but we were still allowing all of the things that happen to people in our society happen. And the question is, how in the heck can that stuff be happening when we're talking about a God that has all this power, when we're talking about whatever that spiritual power is that has so much, and you're allowing that power to live in you, and yet all around us is pain, all around us is suffering. Then somebody got to say, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. And who usually says that? The one who got the balls. And who are the ones that got the balls? The one who care about you. They are the ones who got the balls. The rest of people, and even before that time, before they got to that point, they were just cared about themselves, looking out for themselves. So yes, there are very few Dr. Martin Luther Kings and Malcolm X around in this country. In fact, where is one? Is there one anywhere? No, we all faking it, trying to make it. Now, I just heard a capitalist say, right before I came here, that gold and silver is God's money. That's a damn lie. You see, God uses no money. God is not about buying and selling. That's a tool of evil. We all know that. Well, God, through Jesus, as the story goes, told the rich young ruler. That rich young ruler wanted to say, well, this heaven, let's look at it. Let's look at it, ladies and gentlemen. Even the rich young ruler hears what I'm saying and says, that's fantastic. How do I get a part of that? And the message comes back. Take everything you got and go give it to those who need it. Give it to the poor. Well, the guy's mind and heart and spirit is in what works for him. He knows money works. Now, as far as he's concerned, this is the thing about this heaven that he says he want to be a part of it. That's a dream. Now, who's going to forfeit everything they put their whole heart in for a dream? So that means, ladies and gentlemen, nobody's going to give it up. Nobody's going to give it up. You can go to a station, start talking about some stuff. They say you want to what? Rearrange the prosperity. You want to redistribute the wealth. No, they don't even want to talk to that stuff. No, why? Because they don't know anything about it. Whomever they've ever listened to never gave them anything but junk. And they are just as fed with junk as, I'm not going to say that one. But anyway, when I heard this capitalist say that, I could not imagine anybody who could not understand how important in man's world money or its equivalent is. The whole society, not just in this country, but around the world, is shaped up in some form or fashion so that we can basically trade with one another for the benefit of making money. It ain't about trying to give them something. It's not about them trying to give us something. They know we want something. We know they want something. And we put a price tag on it, what it takes to get it. No, that's where that stuff comes from. And why are you doing that? Because you want to, let me ask you, you say, why are you doing it? Look at it like this. When you get ready to hire somebody, what wages do you pay them? You understand? And if you can't get that, you'll pull in some Mexicans or somebody to do the work because you know they're hurting so bad, they'll work for a little less. You see what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? That's a hustle. Guilty hustle. Boy, you guys, if you just knew a little bit about heaven. As I was mentioning, I'm going to start doing some seminars just to share with you about the beauty of God's love. Now, I want to say this. I warn you, the American people. What you see all around us is evil. The perpetrators of this evil are caught in a trap. They are trained by their history. They are trained by their findings, their parents, their institutions, and all of the things that they are associated with have created these monsters. These are monsters against freedom, monsters against justice and prosperity and joy and the fulfillment of your dreams for all. They're ignorant to their injustice. Their mindset is, if you can take it any way, you do it. But only if the money, people says, is all right. What are we saying here? What are we actually saying? White people don't know anything about what we're talking about, peace and prosperity. They're intelligent. They're intelligent enough to understand the words, but not the action. Because their faith, their trust is in material, what they see. Nothing wrong with that. But see, their source of motivation is guided by the ideals of people who are themselves prejudiced and racist and all that other kind of stuff. And it's going to be in everything that they do. So you have to be born again, I suppose, to understand, have your eyes open and start working in that regard. And as you do so, you clear everything clearer and clearer. Your sight is coming back clearer and clearer. You're clearer. Your sight is coming back clearer and clearer. Your sight is coming back. And there's no white person anywhere in America that can advocate for God's way of life. They don't know it. Everything they know about is changed to fit them. They made God in their own image. The only way this scheme can be successful if there's no real God of America. For indeed, the challenge is there. If there is a real God of love, stand now or hold your peace. This is how evil prevails when good people do nothing. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for giving me this your time. I hope you get something out of it. Until next time, Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.